Yo, what's up out there in the internet world? Welcome to a very warm California evening. My name is Shelvon, and I'm here with GNC Play. It is our video game podcast. We have a kind of a pop culture one that takes place on Sundays. We kind of doing it on Sundays because of Game of Thrones, and seems to be like a good day. For me, it's the end of the week, so yeah. All right. Today we're just gonna go over a few topics. I'm keeping the lights off mostly because, like I said before, it's a little warm in here. So what we're going to do is there is a new mod from Fallout that some guys made for Fallout 2, or well, not Fallout 2. I'm not exactly sure, but I heard about it the other day and I thought I'd check it out. A lot of people who are into this seem to be very impressed by it. And after that, we're going to get into Ubisoft's kind of apology. And I think they had a Japanese response to it. Some of which I saw was the Japanese audience. Well, not the audience, but the government was kind of like, eh. It's like they got bigger problems to worry about than Ubisoft bastardizing their history. Okay. And the last thing I kind of want to touch on is because there's not really a lot of gaming news. There's some games coming out. Lately, I've been kind of stuck playing the new update for No Man's Sky. I'm amazed at how much I really enjoy that game, even though you're not really doing a lot. I guess because I spend so much time doing stuff all day, it kind of feels good to kind of chill. All right, so let's get into the Fallout stuff. I think I played it for like 6 hours yesterday, and I was supposed to be setting up this stuff today. I mean, the thumbnail and all that fun stuff after work. And then I spent like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours playing it again. So, like, if you find something that you like, man, just play with it until you just kind of run out of energy with it. So, all right. Okay, check this. Oh, it's like 3 minutes long. I ain't gonna front. I am kind of I played Fallout. Can't say that I'm a huge, well, not fan, but it's a lot of walking around. It's like nothing much, but I mean, it looks good. Especially since this is a fan mod. It actually looks really good for them.
London, 2237. They always said the sun had never set on the Empire. But now, most of old Blighty is a shell of its former self. Washed together buildings, radiation-filled nightmares, hooligans, up for a bit of argy-bargy, or whatever the bloody hell those things in Thameshaven are, if you know what I mean. In fact, the closest semblance of structure we got is the daft and balmy boys over in Lambeth. Only they won't budge except for a cup of Rosie Lee.
These are dark times.
So in a nutshell, it's all a bit tom-tit these days. Listen, the whole of Blighty's up for grabs right now. Nobody's heard from Her Majesty for ages, and frankly, people are cream crackered hearing the gentry's orders from behind their walls. Especially with those angel bastards making things go bump in the night.
Angels? Never heard of them. What do they want from us?
So all's to play for. Each wanker wants a part of the pie. Question is, who will it be? The last vagabonds of London's gutter?
You're going to pay for your treachery, and pay dearly.
The fascist pamphleteers of the fifth column?
With me as your leader, I promise, this city will be ours forevermore!
Or the Camelot Knights of days past, heading once more under the bridge?
Let history remember us. Let history know our name. Fight!
You just need to open your eyes and have a butcher's, me old China. The sun's about to set on this hallowed land. I'll let you into a little secret, though. Whilst the location might have changed, war never changes.
that looks really good. Got a little bit left of the trailer. Okay. Dude, that looks actually pretty good. And it's like a mod. Man. There's been a lot of talk about AAA gaming going away, but I think if you get people who are putting stuff together that looks like that, even though it's based off somebody else's engine, it still looks like something that Bethesda would have put out. So I wonder how much I know trying to think. I wonder the VAT system. I think that's what it's called. They didn't really show that off in the trailer. I wonder if that's in the game or which actual engine it is based off of, because it actually looks better than the last, well, not Starfield, but like the previous Fallout game. Yeah, that didn't look too hot. This actually looks good. Pretty good textures. If I was more into Fallout, I probably would check it out because it's on GOG, Greeno Games, something like that. Yeah, I'm a console guy, so you got to forgive me for not knowing some of the sites where you can get some of this stuff from. Although I'm planning on getting a newer system and getting back into my old PC ways. So we'll see. But all in all, it looks good. All right, so let's get into Bethesda's, well, not Bethesda's. Let's get into Ubisoft's fake apology. All right. So, let's see. I heard some of this, and it was kind of like BS. Alrighty, see if we can see this. All right. To our esteemed Japanese community, a message from the Assassin's Creed Shadows development team. First, we want to express our heartfelt thanks for all of your support. For the series, which now has its own history spanning almost 20 years. Over this time, we have explored various settings, time periods, and characters from an Assassin's Creed during the Third Crusade to a Viking in 9th century England and countless more. For many of our team, creating Amazon's Creed game set in feudal Japan has been a long cherished dream, which you weren't going to do until the Ghost of Tsushima came out and kind of kicked your clock in terms of your last, like the Viking Assassin's Creed game. So you are basically forced to do this. So I don't know why you're pretending that you had any interest in doing this, because people have been asking for this for years and you guys have not been giving this to people. All right. Since the announcement of Assassin's Creed Shadows, we have received many positive reactions. Okay. But also some criticism, including from you, our Japanese players. We share your passion for history and deeply respect your care for the historical and cultural integrity of your rich heritage. We would like to address a few points to clarify our intentions and creative decisions. Overall authenticity efforts. We have put a significant effort into ensuring an immersive and respectful representation of feudal Japan. However, our intention has never been to present any of our Assassin's Creed games, including Assassin's Creed Shadows, as factual representations of history. This is a lie. Whoever wrote this must be in their 20s or something. Don't actually realize that was their claim to fame. When these games came out, their authenticity was their claim to fame. It wasn't until maybe you dipped into Odyssey where they started to put a little modern day stuff into these games. But no, this is an actual lie. And I'm not sure why they chose to tell this lie, because if all you got to do is pull up any of the advertising material for those earlier games, and they basically will state how one of their goals to be as factually accurate as historically accurate as possible. So this is a bold-faced lie. All right. We aim to spark curiosity and encourage players to explore and learn more about the historical settings we get inspired by. Again, this is a lie. Assassin's Creed Shadows is first and foremost designed to be an entertaining video game that tells a compelling historical fiction set in feudal Japan. Our team extensively collaborated with an external consultants, historians, researchers, and internal teams at Ubisoft Japan to inform our creative choices. The person that they are talking about is this white guy who basically made up all this story about the black dude in this game. He has been, I think he's been fired from the university that he worked at. His whole claim to fame was about this particular thing, and it was a BS. He's being caught on this BS. So them trying, I don't know. I think the other researcher that I saw was this person who was completely fascinated by the sexual stuff in feudal Japan, mostly dealing towards underage people. She's like, it's another lady. She's a little weird. I didn't really hear too much about her. I definitely heard about the guy. Mm-hmm. Despite these sustained efforts, we acknowledge that some elements of our promotional materials have caused concern within the Japanese community. Not concern, very much anger. So, yes, I love this speech by underplaying how pissed off the Japanese folks were about you messing with their culture. All game footage presented as far as development of the game will keep involvement until launch, meaning that you will try to fix as much stuff that offended people as possible that you can actually get away with while still trying to tell your woke story. Based on the constructive criticism we have received, we will continue our efforts until we put the game into your hands and beyond. Again, we will try to fix a lot, well, not everything, but some of the stuff that you were highly offended by. We also want to clarify, while we have been consulting with many people throughout the development process, they are in no way responsible for the decisions that are taken by the creative teams in the interest of gameplay and entertainment. This is another lie. Well, you know what? I take that back. A lot of these companies are basically filled up with people, like the people who made the game that you fell in love with 10, 15 years ago are no longer working at these companies. What they have now are a bunch of people who are trying to build on something that somebody else made and tell their own weird story. And then when people reject that, you get called an istaphobe and all this other stuff because you don't want to take the slop that they're trying to give you. So this is supposed to be an apology, but doesn't sound like one. All right. Consequently, we respectfully request that any criticism not be directed at our collaborators, both internal and external. If you mean the white dude who's been basically lying about this particular person, kind of brought that on himself. When we strive for authenticity in everything we do, as the games are works of fiction inspired by real historical events and figures. That is not what these games were when it first came out. Again, you prided yourself on being as historically accurate as you possibly could be, so that you can feel like you're living by then. It is. I don't know why it seems like everyone is trying to blow smoke up everybody's ass instead of just realizing, well, people don't like people have valid reasons for not liking something, and you pretending that they don't have valid reasons because it doesn't. It goes away, gets in the way of what you're trying to push. Is nobody's buying it anymore. While Yusaki is depicted as a samurai in Assassin's Creed Shadows, we acknowledge that this is a matter of debate and discussion. There's no debate or discussion. He basically was not. That is what they're upset about. We are woven in carefully into our narrative with our other lead character, Japanese shinobi Nayo, who is equally important in the game. Our dual protagonists provide players with different gameplay styles. We greatly value your feedback and encourage you to continue sharing your thoughts respectively. While we understand that meeting everyone's expectations is very difficult. Yeah, especially after Ghost of Tsushima. It's like that was very accurate to the Japanese people. A game also made by white people, but they actually try to stay as true to Japanese culture as they possibly could. Therefore, the Japanese folks love this game. Now, a bunch of woke people were upset that these white dudes was making a game about Japan. I've noticed that these people have not said anything about this game. So those guys being white dudes can't make a Japanese game, but these guys who are white dudes can make a Japanese game. It's very interesting. So I am gonna pass on this particular game mostly because the last Assassin's Creed game, I didn't play the one where it was basically like a level or like DLC. I didn't play that one. The Viking one. I actually didn't finish it because it was Ubisoft games are fetch quests and bloated maps to extend a small story into a very large gameplay loop. You wind up doing the exact same thing over and over and over again. Go to a new area, climb something that's really high, look around, open up the map, and all the little icons and whatnot pop out on the map. Rinse and repeat. Okay. So I don't know. You can go enjoy this. I think I'm gonna do a hard pass on this. So let's get into the strike, and we're gonna end on what I saw this today, and well, all right. Okay, let's open this. Okay. This is an exercise in doing something that results in the results are pretty obvious what they're going to be, because this is the video game actors strike. They're gonna strike. Their concerns are valid. It has something to do with AI and how so their concerns are with AI and how that is basically taking over everything. So I can understand that. They're trying to get some kind of agreement where these companies either won't use it's more like the voiceovers. It's basically taking someone's voice and kind of copying it or doing something close enough where you can use it, like a what's it doing it from hey Batman, Kevin Conroy. Yeah, I'm bad with names. He recently passed, and he is basically considered by most people as the definitive Batman. Like when you're playing anything or watching anything, that's the voice that you want to hear. I'm not exactly sure what he agreed to before he passed. If he agreed to allow his voice to be used in other games, because I heard that James Earl Jones signed something like that. So Darth Vader is going to sound like Darth Vader forever. So I don't know if Mark Hamill did the exact same thing, but I heard like a lot of people are doing that. When you sign your voice rights to a company to use as they deem fit, well, not deem fit, probably whatever you worked out in your negotiations. So they're just like when Drake used Tupac in his diss song to Kendrick Lamar. So basically what he did was he rapped the verse, and then he had a AI program come in and took his lyrics and his inflection in the way that he said stuff, and then in turn made him sound like Tupac. And he also did like Snoop Dogg and the same thing. So that's a valid concern. I'm not exactly sure, because this is new territory, what you can actually do about that, because this is like a new thing, and our government is not up to the point where they can get ahead of stuff like this to come up with new laws and new rules. So it's kind of like the wild, wild west when it comes to this stuff. So like I said, I can understand why they feel like they feel. All right, so let's get back into this. All right. SAG-AFTRA is officially on strike last year. We wrote the headline in relation to Hollywood actors taking the picket lines alongside writers in the WGA. This year, the story is video games voice actors who say gaming companies are refusing to meet their demands on artificial intelligence. Though the Hollywood actors strike has since been resolved, yeah, I've heard enough the people complaining about that particular thing, how that did not work out in the way that these people thought. Hence the reason why I said that doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. One, these companies don't have any money because they spend too many years making crap that nobody wants to buy. So they're running out of all this extra DEI funds are drying up. So you trying to get money out of these people, good luck with that. And that did not help the actually actors. There's a lot of them who are no longer actors because of that. Growing from some time, negotiations over a new contract beginning in October 2022 and approving the video game strike authorization last September with 98.32% approval. Now that the strike is official, here's a FAQ with everything. All right. First recap. Yeah. All right. All right. Which is why, after months of negotiation, is calling a strike at 12:01, July 26, which is today, as of this morning. Negotiating committee members explained that one of the biggest issues remaining involves definition of who a performer is. Video games company says negotiating chair Sarah, I'm not even trying to say that. Imala, all right, are trying to exclude some members from AI productions and are refusing to spell out other productions or protections in clear and enforceable language. So they're doing lawyer speak for the actors. An employer's AI provisions leave the folks who put their bodies on the line. Okay, bodies. Yeah, voice actors. That's funny. On the line, the most vulnerable to abuse. They say they get to choose seemingly arbitrarily who is a performer and who is just data. The union representatives, all performers, and we refuse to allow our employers to disrespect a portion of our members who have poured their lives and talents into making great performances by saying we don't count. The answer is awful. The answer, what video games are being impacted by the strike? There is awful lot of games currently in productions, most even. All covered services, meaning we'll not be doing any of the union performances work for video games until the strike is called off. Officially, SAG-AFTRA is going to be bargaining onto the bargaining table with a convenience bargaining group that includes Activision, Blindlight, Disney character voices, EA, Formosa Interactive, Insomniac, Take-Two, voice work. Okay. WB Games, but these folks are stand-ins for a larger industry, and they're not the only publishers getting strike action. Doesn't mean that every video game is struck. Some video games have been approved for interim agreements that allow work to continue. Yes, I read an article that said GTA 6. I don't know how these games can get these approvals, but based on including these productions are not struck. In fact, SAG-AFTRA is encouraging members to okay. Maybe some video games have been approved, and some have already signed into independent agreements with the SAG-AFTRA by that make terms that the union is asking all video game companies for already. Oh, okay. Including on AI. These projects are not struck. In fact, SAG-AFTRA is encouraging members to work on them while the strike goes on. Okay. Additionally, it seems the games that are in development prior to September 2023 are also not technically struck, but may still be impacted. Okay, yeah. GTA 6. Certain games that are produced by struck companies are not currently being struck because of the terms of the collective bargaining agreement are still in effect for those games. The search function will also let you know if the game you are looking up is one of those games. Please note, although members may not be disciplined for working on these games, they may still choose to stand in solidarity with their fellow members by refusing to cross a picket line for these games, and their employers contractually prohibited from discriminating against them for this choice. If you have been engaged under under a daily contract for one of these games, you can choose to show solidarity with your fellow union members by not signing new contracts with the game. All right, how will the video game actors strike impact me as a gamer? I mean, since they don't, video games are going to continue to come out. Right. So anything that was made like a year or two ago is still going to come out. Where you're going to feel this is two or 3 years from now. You're going to feel this about 2 or 3 years from now, when there will be an absolute desert of anything to play, except for indie games. So indie games will be fine. And it's just kind of like how it is now, how there are no TV shows, really, no movies, really. Like you got Deadpool out, then there's going to be like a Ghostland for a little bit, then something else is going to come out. So it's going to be like this. Maybe if this goes for as long as the Actors one did. So yeah, so you're going to feel this about 2 years from now, when it'll be like no new nothing. So like I said, I understand where their concerns at. All this is going to do is just the same thing with what happened with movies and TV shows. People are going to find alternative things to do. And once that becomes a thing where they just do that, they're not going to come back. That is what they're learning in TV. This is what they are actually learning in movies. Now, the thing that they went to is video games. So it's going to be interesting what happens after that. I don't know. Maybe people will start reading books or some shit like that. Anything is possible. I don't think striking is going to help per se, because this AI thing, for the most part, is like there are cracks in the dam. These folks are trying to stick their fingers in the dam because they're trying to hold on to how everything was done for decades. Like that is being wiped out. You know, this is how progress works. I remember telling someone about my experience. I used to work at the phone company, and the place that I worked at used to have like 20 people working there. And by the time I got there, we were down to like 3 on the shift, 5 altogether. Because most of the work was, and this was 15 years ago, so most of the work was hardwired in. So all the stuff that you needed to do before, you didn't need to do that anymore. And when I left, they were installing computers where that hardwired thing was even more hardware. It was basically everything was digital. It was like your lines come in one side, go into this computer, and then come out the other side. So all the connecting of different things on the telephone, and I understand that there's a lot of younger people who probably don't want to get any of that. But my analogy is technology came and kind of decimated the phone industry. So you needed less and less people because one, you're doing everything on fiber. So you don't need as many people to control to fix stuff. So it's more specialized with a handful of people. Less and less people are getting phone lines at all. So there's houses you can, just like mine right now. There is no phone lines in this house. Everybody has a cell phone. So you're gonna have generations of people who won't even know what that is. It's like they're going to an old house and they're just like, "What is that?" They won't know what a jack is because it's just not something that they use. So it's the same thing. Is you can try to fight technology as much as you want. At the end of the day, it's just not going to. It's just not going to work. So the best you can do is learn how to exist in that time period that you're going into. My advice is to get better at whatever it is that you do so you can be irreplaceable. What we're finding in the Screen Actors Guild stuff is all those people who were kind of skirting along the bottom and just kind of eking out an existence. Those are the people who got most affected. The people who wrote the best, the people who acted the best, or had the most contacts. Those people are, for the most part, fine. You know, there's less work, but it's just hot. They're learning to exist in how everything is now, and these people are going to have to do that. Voice acting is a different thing altogether, though, because yeah, the AI will be able to replicate your voice. So it may not be your voice; it will be an amalgam of different people's voices doing like tough guy voice and feminine voice and all this other stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be this next decade or so is gonna be rough for a lot of people. Well, it kind of sucks, but that's how it is. All right, so we're going to end this particular thing. Like I said, there's not a lot of stuff. There's not a lot of games. There's a lot of little fluff stuff. You know, there's CDs like the San Diego Comic-Con is coming this weekend, so that'd be something to talk about. Like then, all the news and all that fun stuff. All right, so we're gonna end this in what like basically a march toward the end of time. All right. Okay. The older you get, the thing that you get to watch is the things that you loved slowly go away. You know, it's kind of depressing, but it's just a matter of fact the older you get. So the Xbox 360 game store is closing. They're giving one last sale. So if you have a 360, if you still have one, go in and load up on stuff, because this is the bad part about digital is a lot of this stuff is going to go away. You know, that's why you should buy as many hard copies of stuff that you want to keep as possible. Now, what's going to happen eventually is the game console that you could play them on is going to not function. But if you are a collector of these things, and there are a lot of people who do, then you'll still be able to go in and play the games for the story, because the story is the thing about the older games is the stories. The graphics and the modern controls will be lacking, but the story structure of the games, and if you learn how to accept the games for what they are much, much better. Especially modern games. A lot of modern games suck. All right. So the Xbox 360 will be shutting down its online marketplace July 29th, so you don't have that much time. After 19 years, players have found comfort within the Xbox 360, have one last chance to get some notable games before it's shut down forever. Another memorable moment in history is about to take place as recent the Nintendo Wii U and Nintendo 3DS stores have also closed down. Yeah, that sucked too. Like I have a 3DS. I had a Wii U, but I got rid of it because just like these game consoles right now, there was like nothing to play on it. I wish I would have kept it though. In hindsight, yeah. But then the final days approaching, Microsoft is giving massive discounts to players before they shut down the online store for good. While this is strictly for the Xbox 360 consoles, and other consoles are able to have access to games since they're backwards compatible, meaning players can get these beloved games on sale that they were designed for the Xbox 360 on their Xbox as well. You can check out the store here. Oh, let's see. All right. New releases. Can you see it? Okay. That's funny. Okay. Halo Wars. Actually got new as in 2019. Wow. NBA 2K18. Kyrie in the Celtics outfit and the uniform. Crazy. All right. This includes digital versions and retail titles that are digital only games that will vanish entirely from the legal availability on when the Xbox goes out for good. Looking for the list, the sales are pretty good and very beloved games are discounted just a few dollars that you will never imagine that could have been priced so low. All right, does it give a list? I'm looking. There is no list. It's giving me a link to somebody else. All right, so it is the end of an era. I have very many fond memories of an Xbox 360. Like everything else has its time. So I might, I might have to go check and see if I can see what they have, because there's a couple of games that I always thought about getting, but I never got for some reason. And since all this stuff is backwards compatible, buying these things for like a few bucks. Oh, and then with the Greeno games, I think that's what is on the PC. All right, well, that's it for like the gaming news for today. Looking forward to what gets announced for San Diego Comic-Con and see if there's anything interesting. I'm not too keen on rocking with the new Assassin's Creed, not so much as for the black samurai dude, who for some reason in the trailer they're playing hip hop music behind. So, and that's like a whole different thing. So like if you're black, even though this dude is probably an African, so he's not from America, I don't know why you're playing hip hop music in the background for him. But I guess it beats playing some tribal stuff that somebody dug up from someplace. I don't know. So to all you out there, to please hit the like and share and follow button and subscribe and all that fun stuff. So next week I'm gonna I didn't do it yesterday because, again, like I said, I got stuck playing No Man's Sky, and the person I usually do this with wasn't available. It's like today, so I decided just to do it today anyway. But I'm gonna try to stick to my schedule, which is Thursdays at 9:00 Pacific time. So, like I said, please like, share, and subscribe, and all that fun stuff. And to all you out there, later and enjoy your gaming experience. So, peace.